That's right. We're recording there, recording here. Got your mic going.
Got the mic.
That's right. Heather, thank you for making it out today. You just came from Riverside County, right?
Yeah, Rancho Cucamonga.
Rancho Cucamonga. How was the drive over here?
It wasn't too bad. I mean, coming here, but going back might be a little different.
It's a fucking nightmare. Like, I won't even go to Vegas if it's Thursday or Friday, and if I can't leave before 1 o'clock, I won't even drive that way because it gets like 2-3 hours sometimes, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
But you have other plans after this, right? You're gonna go visit Eric.
Yes, I'm gonna go visit Eric.
Shout out to Eric, man. Eric, I hope you get better really quick. I'm sorry for what took place this weekend. We were just talking about it. Heather's gonna visit you. She told me.
Bring you some water. I know you like the water.
Bring you some agua. So you're gonna see him afterwards and stuff. That's awesome. I gotta find out where he's staying and do that as well. So what do we got here? What's going on? What is this? Usually people bring alcohol up in here, and you brought a bunch of water.
Yes. So today I am super excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me on the podcast.
My pleasure.
I'm going to be showing you guys today about your water and about the kinds of things that we've been drinking, the kinds of things that we've been exposed to over the years. And I come on as an enthusiast. I'm definitely not an expert in this just yet, but I am super passionate about sharing the knowledge that I've gained so far, and the process keeps continuing for me of just wanting to find out more about water, more about, the kinds of things that are good for us. So that's what I have prepared for you guys today.
And very exciting. I've been seeing stuff that you've been posting on your Instagram. What's your Instagram again, just for the listeners?
It was a nickname in high school, so I know. It's Heetha, HEETHA 12. I definitely post some information about the water. Sometimes it's a little more personality, but
I'm laughing my ass off with all your posts. They're hilarious, and you continuously are always promoting this. Like sometimes it's on purpose because you're doing an event and that's what you're there for. Right. Other times it seems like you're just messing around like, hey, check this out. That's bullshit. And just, So I keep that up, keep that up. And before we get into all the fun, magical part, like what took place in your life that you started getting interested in water? Was it just introduced to you? Did, I've known people, get fucked up health, and then they just switch their water around and that really turned things around. What was your story of how you got into water or the hydration more than anything? And the importance?
Think my story, honestly, it really started like beginning of COVID when I really was considering things about my health. For me, I've always lived a very active lifestyle. I've done sports throughout my life. I currently do Brazilian Jiu Jitsu now. And for me, I knew that hydration is super important, and that's something that I wanted to look more into. And so it's funny the way the world works when you actually think about what you want, the things that you want to receive in life. And my mentor actually found me on Instagram. I saw that we were from the same area. We competed at the same gym before. I used to bodybuild for a season. And he reached out to me and, started liking my post, shared some information. But what really got me interested was seeing a little bit of what I'm going to show you guys here today and show you as well with the benefits of this particular water, the kinds of water that I was already drinking, the things that I was exposed to, because after having so much of my family members get sick from cancer, this kind of became a little more important to me of understanding, okay, what can I be doing that's a little on the simpler side, nothing that's super complicated. I've always been a fairly simple person when it comes to just understanding and doing things for my health. And because our bodies are over 75% water, this just made complete sense to me.
No, it makes, you know what, and I hate to do this, but I think this is so valid. My good bros from the 2 a.m. podcast just made a statement about water. And they were breaking down about what you just finished saying about the body being 70%, but they also took it another notch with with what in the brain, the kidneys. Let's see. This is going to be hard. If not, I'll just post it later.
Yeah.
But let me see if it's what this may look like. Oh yeah, this is going to be. I should have had this ready. I'm going to post it on the after I post yours. I'm going to tag them and post that. But it was just breaking down that it was like 70% or 75% of your body's water.
Yes.
Your brain, it's like more than 50 or 60 or 70%. I think it might even 80% water. The functioning organs, most of them, it's over 50% water. So it's a big deal. But then it's crazy because it's like what we were talking about earlier about, you know, I was in Lebanon and I saw this lady. She was like 85, at least 85. She was between, 83, 85.
Yeah.
84. Let's compliment her.
Yeah.
And she does it. She just said, I don't drink water. I don't like water. The only time I drink water is I take a sip from my pills. That's it. I drink coffee. I drink sparkling. And which that was another thing on your post. That when I saw the sparkling pH levels blew me away.
Yep.
And when I travel to other countries, I just see people don't drink water. And the quality of water is like, you know, once you're used to the water here, it sucks.
Yes.
But then it makes me think, is it like marketing campaign? Because the water here, like when you start getting into like alkaline waters and you turn it into a habit, you want to drink more of it. You enjoy it. Now, are they making it addicting, you know, to like push more? Or is it just really that much better? I don't know. I asked you a bunch of stuff right now.
So I think a point that I would like to make is just specific to LA County area. It's known that, you know, you can't really drink water without a filter. You know, everybody has some kind of filtered water. Everybody drinks some kind of bottled water. And what we found was in drinking bottled water, I'm not sure if you or even your listeners are familiar, but when you look at the back of alkaline water, it actually has ingredients. And those ingredients are added in order for you to keep drinking the water, keep enticing you to keep drinking the water because it makes you almost dehydrated enough. Yeah.
I didn't know that. So it's like one of those stupid tea drinks where it's like, oh, organic tea, but then you read the ingredients, there's like 50 ingredients. Like, why the fuck is there 50 ingredients in organic tea? So in alkaline water, there's ingredients in there.
Yes.
That sucks.
I know. For any kind of bottled water, because the reality is that with your water, with the bottled water that you buy from the grocery store, it took about 6 to 8 months in order for it to get there, and it's sitting there on the shelf, and
then it's expanding with heat in the trucks and getting hot, and the plastics are expanding. Then you have EPA, whatever, that other plastic toxic stuff, and then it gets transported back into the cold, and then that makes sense too. So it's like preservatives almost. Interesting.
And it's being exposed to it. The water is going to take on whatever you put it in if it sits there long enough. And so it's taking on microplastics, and what we're also finding
microplastics being found in the body.
In the body, in placentas.
Yeah.
For unborn babies, which is slightly alarming for those who are planning to get pregnant or, you know, anything like that, where it's kind of like hindering the health of yourself and your future child. That
I was just reading an article on this yesterday.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. And that's basically the plastics that they were talking about that are the most contaminated ones are the thinner plastics. So for example, they were saying dairy products like yogurts that they come in that thin plastic that has a lot of microplastics in it. You know, the containers like toothpaste tubes, you know, like it starts like it was pretty much everything.
Yeah.
You know, but those were the ones that stuck out. And obviously these, you know, as I can see this other one's in a glass bottle.
Yeah. But
it's painted blue. Inside or outside?
Outside.
Okay. Yeah. Just to make sure. I don't know. And then that gold cap, what's going on there? No, I'm kidding. I'm just messing around. But the microplastics is like serious. And not only that, but like if you look at microwave food or, you know, frozen foods, there's so much of it. It's like, how do you avoid it? It's almost impossible to avoid it. And now they're doing tests and it's in our blood. Like they found plastic in our blood.
Which is crazy.
It's fucking insane. And then, like you were saying, the placentas, the babies are being born with it. There was something along the articles. It was talking about baby boys, and it was like something with their penises and like with the development of their I don't know, their reproductive. I don't know. I gotta watch out what I say here too.
It's all
but
right.
it was very interesting. It was actually on WebMD.
Okay.
WebMD.com.
Okay.
So if you look up the microplastics in the blood, it shows side effects and what problems to look for, and it starts breaking it down when you go to babies. So yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, we'll have to check that out too. I'm always open to learning more about what people are finding in their research of just their normal day to day, because we have, you know, our own research stuff that we've gone through, our own testimonials, and then as well as hearing other people's stories. But I'm always open to definitely hearing more about what people are finding. And I feel with everything that we found so far, with things that like you're talking about, it definitely just reiterates the fact of the importance of this specific water, which is I'm super excited to be sharing with you.
And let's bring it back to, because I totally interrupted you, about how you got into this. So you were posting on social media, you went to the same gym, your mentor was like, hey, you go to the same gym, you post cool shit, you're pretty fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like, let's get together and fucking drink water.
Yeah.
You know, and then you were like, all right. And then what happened? What was the breakdown? Did they start showing you like the health benefits, or they started showing you like what hooked you onto doing this? Mm-hmm. And then what's the craziest thing you've seen change on just based off a person changing their water?
What hooked me was during...
And who's your mentor?
My mentor, I'm going to shout him out. He is viral. He is the king of hydrogen on Instagram. He also has TikTok as well. And he shared information. And what really sold us on the water was seeing the presentation and showing us with the water that we were currently drinking. We were drinking out of a Brita filter. And they're like, well, let us show you something. And we're like, okay. Showed us the water that we're drinking was super acidic, that it's not cleaning out any of the contaminants. And our mind was blown. And then same thing with Perrier, because we drink a lot of carbonated water. And we're like, oh, it's mineral water. It's good for us. But because it has bubbles in it, it makes it super acidic, and it can't be, I don't know the proper terminology, but basically you can't reverse how much it's dehydrating you with just one bottle. And we weren't drinking,
which makes sense,
just one bottle. We were drinking like a couple, you know, so yeah.
Trying to be fancy and shit.
Yeah. And yeah.
That's true, because I drink Perrier and I'm thirsty most of the time. So I'm like, you know, and even for digestive purposes, it's still bad because it's like stretching your stomach, and I don't know. I like sparkling water.
Mm-hmm. We liked it too.
Is there a good alternative? Or it's just
my rule of thumb is definitely enjoy the things that you like already, but do it in moderation, and you know, still be able to enjoy alcohol, enjoy, you know, Perrier from time to time, but definitely limit the consumption because it is affecting your overall long-term health. And I mean, just enjoy it in moderation.
You said alcohol. Is there any key trick or rule of thumb that you recommend of, you know, for every shot, have a cup of water, or, you know?
I would say when you get this water, because you'll definitely want this water, sip it. Sip it throughout the night. If you're going out, if you're going to have a long night, you know, the holidays are coming up. And so, you know, drink this water throughout the day. This water has such a high negative charge, and these are actually some points that I want to make before I actually get into this, but because it has such a high negative charge to it, it's going to hydrate your cells much faster. And when it does that, you're able to kind of bounce back from, you know, a hangover. Yeah.
So it even gives you like an energy boost.
Yes.
That's good. Yeah, because the older you get, the hangovers get worse.
Yep.
That's good. So what is the display? What do we got going on here?
Okay, so before we get into this, I wanted to make a couple points here. So
Please.
The problem with our water is that, or the water that we've been drinking, is that it's acidic. So for those who drink still straight from the tap, super acidic, not really good for us. Carbonated water, Gatorade, these things are acidic, which means they promote inflammation, which essentially leads to illness. And so for a lot, just more specifically, what really stood out for me was cancer. I'm adopted, so with my adopted family, a lot of them developed cancer, and never once when they went to the doctor were they prescribed a different kind of water. They were just prescribed different kinds of medications, a lot of numbing stuff. And so I saw, more specifically, my dad go through that. And I feel like when also I came in contact with this water, it made sense. But, you know, this is essentially why people want to take the step to drink a better kind of water, a better alternative. So they go to bottled water, which Aquafina is the highest bought brand within the U.S. market.
Isn't?
Yes. So that's why I brought it here today. And, you know, if they're not drinking that, then everyone hears that drinking alkaline water is better for you.
Yeah, that's what I drink.
And
tons of alkaline.
Mm-hmm. And drinking alkaline water, I mean, you think it's a healthier alternative. You think it's a better option. But what I'm going to show you guys and show you today is, you know, that it's actually chemically induced. They basically strip the water of everything, and then they add chemicals to it because when they test the water, it tests alkaline. But I'm going to show you how quickly it changes, and when air is exposed to it, before it even hits your stomach, what it's turning into, and then that's what your body's receiving.
That's wild. I can't wait to see that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even. That's a mind fuck right there.
Mm-hmm. And then with the Kangen water, it essentially breaks down into three things what really make this water, or what really allows this water to be spectacular, which it is rich in antioxidants. And for me, that was one of my questions of like, how is it rich in antioxidants? You know, I was like, well, yeah, I know strawberries, like berries, stuff like that are rich in antioxidants, green tea, but it contains an element which is found in nature. There's specific locations throughout the world where people travel to get active molecular hydrogen. Essentially what that means is that it has such a high negative charge to the water, which the negative charge is important because our cells are a positive charge, so opposites attract. And so when it's a high negative charge, our cells are like, oh my God, you know,
this is crazy.
This is awesome. Let's take it all in. And so
it's organic and natural. Yay.
And it is the best possible antioxidant that we as humans can consume, any kind of living organism can consume, because it's able to penetrate our cells faster and really give us the mental clarity, you know, better gut health, better looking skin, just an overall better sense of health. And so rich in antioxidants, and it is, it's alkalinity. So when we are born alkaline, and our skin, our skin tissue, our organs, everything is alkaline, but it's through consistency over time. When we're exposed to the air that we breathe is slightly acidic. And then with the Gatorade, the Perrier, the Aquafina, the
coffee is very acidic too, right?
Coffee is very acidic as well.
Orange juice, like pretty much everything's acidic.
It hinders our health, and our body takes that as being like, okay, like you're putting something in me, I don't know what to do. I'm going to try and take as much as I can from this liquid, from this food that you're eating, and try to do the best I can with it. But imagine being able to, with the food that you're eating, be able to break it down completely within your stomach, be able to experience all the benefits, not have inflammation throughout your body, because the older we get, you know, it's just normal wear and tear on our bodies, of having our body basically return back to origin. That's actually what Kangen means, is returning your body back to its original state of when we're born alkaline.
Interesting. And they're an American company?
So it originated in Japan, and what honestly made
Why is when things come from Japan, it's so fucking cool? It's like,
right?
Yeah. Like if it's American, 100 men, you're like, fuck yeah, America. But when it's Japanese, you're like, oh, shit's like, fucking legit.
It's the culture. It's a culture, and what really made it explode in Japan was there's this doctor, he passed, but he was, his name was Dr. Shinya. And he was known for pioneering the colonoscopy, and he treated U.S. presidents. He treated prime ministers, royal families, the Japanese royal family. He treated them. And he said, if you're going to be my patient, I'm going to prescribe you water first, and then we'll see what the benefits are and see how your health is. And a lot of his patients came in with cancer. So in our presentation that we talk about two really big patients. One of them had prostate cancer, and then this lady had breast cancer and chronic constipation. And after 3 months of just drinking water, didn't change anything else, their colon was extremely healthy, and it returned itself back to a normal state. And that for me alone, like, discovering that was like
that's
super
crazy. But
super
she
awesome.
took no other medicines or prescriptions or anything. Nope. She was like, I have fucking cancer. This is crazy, but I'm just gonna try drinking different water.
Because again, our bodies.
And I do believe that. You know, like I was telling you earlier, my mom is like so strict on her water, and she goes. I don't know what she drinks, but you know, I believe it's alkaline. But she goes to one of those places that have like the 50,000, you know, filters, and they UV lights and charcoal, and then she gets this and she tests her water. She looks like a fucking like a mad scientist, you know, like she does all of that.
She knows.
And she knows, and she's, like I said, she's 75 years old or 77. I don't know. She's old. She's young. And she looks like she's in her 50s, and she acts like she's like a teenager. You know, she has like little baby mood swings. Like, I don't want to, like, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. At the end of the day, it's awesome, you know. Yeah. And her big thing's water. Water and B12 shots. She loves her B12. Nice. But that's it, but nothing else. And she's hardcore. Like, you know, she had a shoulder replacement surgery. And when I went to pick her up, like, I'm talking about metal rods, pulled out, bones, like crazy. Yeah. When I went to pick her up, you know, they're like, oh, pick up her prescription pills downstairs. And they gave me like fucking 8 bags of drugs.
Yeah.
As soon as we left, she grabbed it, threw it in the garbage. She's like, let's go to the store and get some Advil. I was like, Advil? She's like, because that's her thing. Yeah. She can tolerate pain. And the only thing after a surgery where they remove your shoulder and put metal rods in is Advil and her water. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So, my dad got like hip replacements and everything. And so he took the medications, though. He was like, yeah, give me all of that. So it makes her dizzy, it makes her confused, it makes her, you know, unbalanced, especially at this age, because this happened like 2 years ago. So she was 70 something. Yeah. You know, that's what's even crazier, you know, even getting shoulder replacement at 70 something. It's like, what? You know, and then she did the other shoulder 6 months later. Advil. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. But water is her main thing. So I'm all for this. That's why when you hit me up, I was like, fuck yeah, I'll talk about this. And there's only a few episodes she'll listen. This is one that she wants to hear about. You know? Shout out to your mom.
Yeah, mommy. Yeah, so I want to see the science. I want to see how this works.
Right. Yes.
Actually, and just to tease more, you mix this stuff with oil. What water and oil don't mix.
So that's actually going to lead to my next point. Water and oil do actually mix, which, you know, we're taught in grade school that they don't, because the water molecule clusters are too big in order to penetrate the oil. But when you make the water molecule clusters smaller, it's easier to penetrate what it needs to. So like with the oil, penetrating the oil, then making that video, you know, it looks like horchata or it looks like milk, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's what, you know.
That's such a Rancho thing to say. Kidding. Shout out to Rancho. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it just mixed. You literally mixed oil. What kind of oil was it? Olive oil, regular oil, car oil?
It can be any oil. We use sesame oil just for demonstration purposes, just so you can see it a little bit better. 50-50? But you can do, so I mean, you just pour a little bit of oil, and then we pour our water into it, and then it completely emulsifies. It completely breaks down the oil, and that kind of leads me to also talking about what I'm going to show you guys is breaking down the pesticides off the fruits and veggies that we're currently eating, organic or not. So,
what about I don't know why I just thought of this, but what about salts, like salt and water? for
Interesting.
mineral purposes and stuff? Or is that acidic? Or would that complement water, or would it not complement water?
You know,
And I'm talking about like real salts. I'm not talking about like bleached,
Right.
fucking the girl with the umbrella salt. Like, hey, I'm talking about like,
like Morton's.
yeah, Morton's, yeah, exactly. It was steak, like what is it, sea salt or Himalayan salt? That has a lot of minerals, right?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know.
Me neither.
I would assume, but that's honestly a really great question.
Yeah.
And I'm actually gonna write that down because I would like to look more into.
I drink coffee every day, and my mom got me into this habit. And my mom's done this forever. So we make Cuban coffee, which is, espresso, café con leche.
Yes.
But she puts salt in her coffee. She does like a little of Himalayan salt. And I was like, that's so weird. She's like, and I'm like, yeah. She's like, and I was like, and I tried it. I'm like, oh, this is kind of good, And now I put like a little salt.
A little bit of salt.
Yeah.
I like salt, so
yeah, exactly.
I'm a huge advocate for it. But
she says it's the minerals, and it gives it a little kick.
I would like to look into that because that's super interesting to me because I love salt. And if it is something that is contributing to our health, why not? Especially compared with this water. So let's get into.
Let's drink.
This water. Let's drink.
So as you're pouring the waters, you brought this display. This display shows the colors of the pH levels. Obviously, red. I mean, it says it right here, but I don't know if the camera can catch it. Very acidic. And then 11.5 is the highest, or there's usually higher than that?
11.5 is the highest. Usually you want to have that to break down the pesticides in your fruits and veggies because it's the strongest. So from what I understand, it's the strongest so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what I've also seen tests online of brands claiming they're 9.5, and then when they do the pH test, it's not even coming nowhere near that.
Yeah.
Do you know how companies get away with advertising it's 9.5, but it's not even 9.5?
From what I understand so far, it's a lot of what we're seeing on the market that is alkaline is that they're adding chemicals to it. And there's no regulation on the chemical additives. And so that's how they're able to kind of get away with, having it appear alkaline, having it appear healthy. But I'm actually going to show you guys, would you keep drinking this water if you know what's in it? And so that'll be one of my points.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring the camera a little closer.
Sure.
After Eric, I feel more comfortable moving the cameras back and forth.
Yeah.
And I need a little bit more light. Okay, so, oops. Okay. I'm actually going to put you on the spot. So then,
Okay.
So you're on the spotlight.
Here we go.
And we can use this on the clips to promote it too.
Beautiful. All right. So this is pH drops. pH drops test for potential hydrogen within the water. So if it has less hydrogen, it's going to come out more acidic. If it has more hydrogen, it's going to come out alkaline. And so I'm going to drop some drops here.
So we got Gatorade Zero, which says 0 calories, 1 gram carbs, 0 sugar. You would think this is healthy. Mm-hmm. And the drops show it's super acidic.
Yes.
Then you got Perrier. I would not think that was acidic.
Yep.
Acidic. And then Aquafina.
Yeah.
That looks like, wow.
Yep.
Okay, break this down. What's going on?
All right. So these are the Gatorade, the Perrier, the Aquafina. They're already super acidic. Aquafina being the most highest spot brand, this is what you're drinking. So essentially, you're not getting any kind of benefits when you're drinking this water. It's actually hindering your health the more that you drink it, just because it it's not even doing anything, even with the additives, even with everything added to it, purified, reverse osmosis, all that, it's not doing anything for you. Now with the Essentia, we see that it does come out alkaline. You know, it looks pretty good, right? But I'm going to show you guys actually why it's not. So when you expose, and this is how you can test for yourself as well, when you expose a little bit of air to it, it'll show its true nature.
Yeah, it's getting lighter. Oh, wow. It's like completely, it's cleared up. It's not even, look at that.
And then we'll do the same thing with the...
I was going to say you have to, because if you just try to close it off like that, that'd be like, bullshit. You know, no, that's it. This is crazy. I'm going to try to get more light. I'm watching. It's not changing.
It doesn't change.
At all.
At all. But I'm going to show...
because the first thing I was going to say is it seems like, you know, how do I know it's not the gum you're chewing and it's your breath and, or you're drooling in the first one and not on the second one? I don't know.
Because companies like Essentia, so I'm going to go over this with you guys. They have a list of ingredients on the back of their bottles of water. And so, you know, it's purified water through reverse osmosis. So in simple terms, it basically cleans the water, strips it of everything bad, but also with everything good. And so it doesn't really do anything for us. And then, do you know what sodium bicarbonate is? Mm-mm. So sodium bicarbonate is actually baking soda. And this is one of the main ingredients that they use in order to make it appear alkaline. So I'm going to show you guys how to make your water alkaline. Crazy.
But baking soda is a good ingredient overall, right?
For baking purposes.
Well, I heard brushing your teeth is pretty good too. Like you get like, you know.
But for overall health, I mean, would you want to drink?
No. I'm not saying that either. But I'm saying like compared to other ingredients, you know, that you can't even, I can't pronounce. I don't know what you can pronounce.
Right.
But stuff that I can't pronounce, I'm like, oh man, what the fuck is this? Like, you know, blah, 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 silicon, you know, so.
It's crazy. So I'm going to show you.
It's wild. So these are tomatoes, right?
So these are tomatoes. So, you know, I'm sure you eat fruits and veggies. You look like
Not really.
No?
I don't.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's so weird.
So for those who do, I'm going to show you how you should be cleaning your fruits and veggies. So this is 11.5. So this is the water that you want to use. And it is water. It's not chemicals. And I'll show you. It's water. You can drink it. But I'm going to show you. We're going to let this sit for a couple minutes. Why instead of using chemicals to clean your fruits and veggies, that you can just use water. And for most of us, we use tap water to clean our fruits and veggies.
I've never had a demonstration. Like, I know this is your first podcast, and you're doing a great job. But this is my first one. There's so much going on, and it's like I want to get like 5 more cameras and record everything that's happening.
You can always do this again, too.
Yeah, we're going to have to.
All right, so say you clean your fruits and veggies with Aquafina. We're going to let that sit there for a little bit.
So this is the Aquafina one.
So this is the Aquafina. This is the Kangen water. So while we let those sit, I'm going to show you.
You love doing this, huh?
I love it.
You love it.
It's honestly, it's my favorite part because it's almost kind of like a magic show for people. And this is what really piqued my interest. And what excites me, I feel, is what I can convey to my audience, to people that I talk to, because this is literally something that is almost so simple, but a lot of us don't know about it. There's only, maybe 1% of the market that really truly knows about Kangen water. And so being in the right place at the right time, having the opportunity to be able to share this with people that don't know much about it yet is super exciting. It's like being one of the first. So
yeah, of course.
So
yeah, I've never seen it at this extent. Actually, I'm really realistic. I've never seen this. Period. Like this demonstration reminds me of like how much sugar there is in drinks, which is a whole nother topic. But that's the closest thing, but not alkaline or calling bullshit on water.
Do you make tea?
Yes.
How do you usually make tea?
Filtered water.
Okay.
Water kettle. Water kettle. That sounds weird.
So you heat up the water.
Heat up the water and boiling hot.
Do you know why you heat up the water?
So the tea will cook or burn or whatever, turn into tea.
Because it makes the water molecule clusters smaller.
Right.
Which is what we talked a little bit about on earlier.
Right.
But as we can see, so say you make your tea with, let's actually put this back up here, with Aquafina. So, as we can see with the tea, that there is nothing coming out of it, right?
Yeah, that's impossible. It needs to be hot.
So
What are you doing without hot water? It's crazy.
So I'm going to show you something.
Wow, instantly.
Instant tea.
Instantly. Instant tea instantly.
And, some skeptics might
That's
be like, okay,
wild.
Like it was already wet. Like,
you got me fooled. That one's interesting.
So I'm going to show you guys.
Yeah, it was already wet.
So it was already wet, right? So we're going to take this. We're going to put a little bit of that in there.
Oh, I see.
A little bit of that in there. So we'll put that back. And same thing, we'll take the Aquafina. Okay.
It's really teed up right now. Like, that's like tea.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
That's amazing.
Let's see.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Let me make sure. Yeah.
That's magic. That's interesting. That's like awesome because I love iced tea. And it's like to make iced tea, you got to boil it, put a little bit, put the tea bag, wait for it to dissolve or mix or whatever, and then pour. It's a process. This was just instant
tea, and this is essentially why.
That is so fucking cool,
right?
That
Should we leave it there for everybody to see.
Yeah, I mean that's beyond cool. Like literally, like if I invented this and I saw it did that, I would say like fuck the health benefits. I'd be like instant iced tea.
Yep.
Do you want instant iced tea? Check this out. Insta ice, like boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
Tired of are you in the middle of a fucking desert and have no way of boiling your water but crave tea? Like like that's it. That would be my selling point right there. Iced tea.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Genius.
It's super exciting because just by literally changing your water, as we could see like with the Aquafina, for those who do drink Aquafina, with your tea, if that's how you make it, which most people don't, but if that's how you make it, we saw that just by adding the Kangen water that you can actually experience the benefits that are meant from tea. And tea is actually really good for us as well.
Yeah, it has antioxidants,
yes.
And it has, it's all herbs. Real tea. Yeah, not Lipton.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're getting the full benefits from it just by switching your water. And we're going to go back to the tomatoes now. So for those who eat fruits and veggies, for those who wash their fruits and veggies in the sink, I'm going to show you why, which I was one of those people. So if you are one of those people, definitely don't feel like, you didn't know. But once you know, now you know. So.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Now you know. Okay.
That's the Aquafina. So you just rinse the tomatoes for whatever time and you poured it, it's clear, nothing happened.
So now we're going to see with these tomatoes. So this was the Kangen water. And as we can see, there is a yellowish tint to the water, which is the actual pesticide being removed from your fruits, your veggies. And I mean, this is what you're consuming when, you know, you wash it through the tap. I mean, we use bottled water, which is supposedly supposed to be better for us, right? So just by switching your water, you can actually eat healthier, be able to experience the benefits. And because we let this soak in this water, because it has a negative charge, taking off the pesticides and adding some energy to your fruits and veggies is actually going to make it last longer.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
I'm speechless on this one.
Yeah.
I can't even comprehend what took place. Because you got tomatoes from the same thing. You just poured 2 different waters. And look at this. So all this is representing alkaline. Well, that's representing tea.
Yeah.
But this is representing alkaline. This is very problematic. And then how does acidic water, how does it affect? Does it affect all human bodies equally, or does it affect children worse than adults, or, you know, the older versus the younger? Like who's that? Obviously, this is for everybody, and everybody needs it.
Right.
But if there was a category where it's like, oh, that person really needs it, you know, is it for? Who's it for?
It's honestly for everybody. So say, you know, you drink this water, you keep drinking it through the years, and you go to the doctor, you start to have health issues. That's what I feel like our market, our U.S. market, or just America in general right now, everyone's extremely unhealthy, and no one's really offering a solution as to bettering your health. And you know, this is definitely something for all age ranges. There is a button on the machine that you can change for clean water for kids because, like we said, they are born alkaline. And so they're alkaline, and it's through, you know, just normal day-to-days, normal wear and tear that our bodies start to wear down. And I'm actually going to bring up, through an event, I actually connected with this older gentleman, and he was talking about his testimonial and how he had all these health issues. And he's like, we've just been poisoning our bodies for such a long time that it's going to take our bodies a little bit of time to kind of revert back to what it's supposed to be doing. But the longer you wait, the longer your body is going to essentially be broken down and not be able to receive the kinds of things like, you know, better food, our vitamins, our medications, being able to take in that stuff. It takes the body a lot longer to process, to take in all that stuff through this stuff that we're drinking. And so it's literally meant for everybody, for kids, for adults, for older adults. It's for everybody.
Yeah, the way that I see it, as you're saying this, is I would highly recommend it to people that are obviously at risk of health issues, or they can easily be at health risk, like, you know, younger people, kids that, you know, they don't have a strong enough immune system, older people that don't have, you know, a falling defense system. So that would be like really strong there. And then for healthy people, this is a good way to prevent, you know, from getting sick or anything else.
Yep.
I think we touched on it briefly before and a little bit while we were recording, because, you know, my listeners are like, how does this help a hangover?
Right.
You know, let's clarify that one more time. How does this help a hangover? Because that's another one that's like, we all know that when you drink a lot, you start peeing your water out.
Yes.
And it's being replaced with alcohol. Therefore, when you knock out and you wake up at 3-4 in the morning, you feel like you're in the desert, and you're just like, water, water, and you need some good water. And now we know there's a difference between this water. That water will help us recover faster.
Yes. So since I was 21, I've been a bartender, so I understand, you know,
the concern.
The concern, you know, and we still like to have a good time from time to time. We still like to hang out with our friends. We still like to drink as well. And so with that, when you drink this water, because when you're looking at ORP is oxidation reduction potential. So when you have the little gadget for it, when you test your water, if it comes out positive, that means it's not good. When it comes out negative, that means it's good. And because this has such a high negative charge, it's close to negative 500 and increasing depending on how fresh you're getting it from your machine. It's able to penetrate the cells a lot quicker than if you're just drinking regular water to rehydrate. And so that essentially is basically, in simple terms, the big money maker. And it, instead of having a hangover that lasts 3 to 5 days, now maybe a day or two tops, depending on how much water you already drink. If you drink a gallon of this water, you're definitely going to bounce back super quick. Yes.
I got a question.
Yeah.
I go crazy when I eat sushi. Like Ventura Boulevard, I don't know if you know, this is like the capital of this sushi, boulevard of the world.
Yeah.
I love sushi. The problem is a lot of sodium. After sushi, sometimes I'm fucking dehydrated, but I'm so full that when I drink more water, it's like I'm really dehydrated, but I want to drink water. But the more water I drink, the fuller I feel. Then I feel sick that I'm full, but then I'm really thirsty. And that doesn't matter what I drink here. Never tried that.
Yes.
Is that different?
Yes. So when we eat food, we're actually not supposed to drink water, which I actually just recently found this out. So sharing the information that I actually just found out as well.
You heard it first on the Ride Balance podcast.
You heard it.
That's right.
Just like to keep it honest, But within 45 minutes, we're not really even supposed to drink anything. We're just supposed to let our bodies digest. But on the machine, there is a clean water button. So you don't want to drink high alkaline water or alkalized water after you eat, because it's gonna give you that bloating feeling. It's gonna break it down so small, and it's gonna make you feel sick. So with the water that I actually gave you, I gave you a 7.0 clean water, which there's no electric charge to the water. It's just completely filtered, some of the best water that you can drink. And if you have to drink something, lightly sip that, because the molecule clusters are still small, so you're able to receive the benefit from the water. And with like water that we've already been drinking, like you were saying that you drank the alkaline water, the clusters are too big, so it's just adding to our stomach of just expanding even more. And that's why that's probably why you feel so dehydrated and bloated after you eat sushi.
Yeah, because it gets... There's a few times where if I drink too much, it's like I want to drink water.
Yeah.
Why do you think, like, this is weird, why do you think some people... I know people that can drink an 18-pack of beer. Right. But they can't drink a cup of water. Like, it's just so hard for them to, like, I can't, like, they're sipping a cup of water. But in the meantime, beer's... Why do you think that is? Or do you know?
My opinion would be that, I mean, our body pretty much knows when it's drinking something that it's not supposed to. And for many of us, we do like to drink alcohol that is something that is attractive to us. And so it releases like a happy response, a dopamine response when we're drinking these things, because it gives us joy. It gives us, a sense of value in our mind that I'm enjoying myself when I'm drinking this, and I'm not enjoying myself because it's not making me feel some type of way when I'm drinking this water that I'm already drinking. And so for people who aren't really big water drinkers, I'm going to be honest with you, I wasn't really a big water drinker myself until I started drinking this water. I was always someone who maybe drank like less than half a gallon a day, but it's because I was feeling like bloated. I was feeling like just acidic in my stomach. I had a lot of gut issues where I felt like I had ulcers, but I would still drink alcohol. I'd still do all that, but I would feel extremely sick the next day. And I'm like, why isn't this water helping me? Like, why am I not feeling good? But that's why I came to find out later on, because my body wasn't receiving anything from it. And so when your body starts drinking this water, you're going to start to realize that your body actually craves it more because we've been dehydrated for such a really long time. and your mental clarity improves, your sleep improves, your gut health improves, because energy improves, and it's just simply by changing your water. So if you like to party, you still like to, have a good time, definitely have a good time, but, make sure that the stuff that you have on the side is going to be bringing you back to, out of that.
Now, how does this water come? I've heard you mention a machine, which is interesting. And then can people just buy bottles? Can people say like, oh, I'll buy an 18-pack, a 12-pack, or whatever?
So you can only buy this machine. So if you're seeing that it is available in stores, it's not true alkalized water, because the process is electrolysis, and it zaps the water, which makes it live water. So within 72 hours, you want to drink the water, because that's when you're going to experience the most benefits. So the only access would be if you personally get a machine, or if you know somebody who has the machine and you can get this water, because it's not available in stores. It's just specifically through the machine. But you have
what's the machine consist of?
So the machine, it's like this big RK8. That's probably our most well known. It's like this big white box, touchscreen. It has about 7 different functions. So you can change the alkalinity of the water. So for people who are sick or going through health issues, you can actually lower the alkalinity, so you can kind of build up the tolerance for people to experience the full benefits, because 9.5 is the highest, and then the 11.5 is what you want to use for, again, like when you're cleaning your fruits and veggies, to emulsify that oil to take it off, so you're not, consuming pesticides when you're eating your fruits and veggies. And sorry, I kind of went on a rant here.
No, the box, what's the machine consist of? How does it work? Okay. How does it operate? You were talking about you said R8 or?
K8.
K8.
Yes.
Obviously.
So
K8.
Yes.
So it has a LCD screen. You can control and manipulate the electrolytes as well as the alkaline, depending on a person that they're sick.
Yes.
See, it's the gum. The focus gum, you see?
Yep.
Okay, so somebody sicker would tune it up for their needs. Somebody not as sick would go more for the alkaline.
So for someone who's in good health, you would drink the 9.5, because you're receiving the most benefits from the water, because it has a higher negative charge. With the lower, like 8.5, it would be more along the lines for people who are experiencing health benefits already. So from personal experience, my mom, she has cancer right now. And I gave her some of this water. My mom's very old school. Well, she's like, I don't want to drink that damn water, But I'm like, Mom,
back in my days, I used to drink it out of a hose.
Yep. Yeah. So,
and I get that too.
What I did was I gave her some clean water, which is the 7.0, which is what you want to take with your medications. Get out of here with your
black magic.
And then pretty much, and then I added a little bit of 8.5, and she was able to sip that a little bit better than the current bottled water that she's drinking. And another really good point about this machine that I want to make is that it is considered a medical grade device. So there is different options of, if you have a larger facility, a restaurant, you can definitely put a machine in there and give the best quality of water to your staff, your people coming in. But what makes it considered medical, like a medical grade device, is you can also have an acidic function. So it's a 2.5 acidic, and essentially it's water that is so acidic that instead of using chemicals, it is actually just water, and you can clean anything topically. You can put it on your skin if you have a rash, if you have a cut, so it basically takes out all the bacteria. And then you would use a 6.0, which is also what the machine has, a beauty water, which for most women, we use toners for our face, makes the skin tight, makes it look good.
Yeah.
But you can get it for free instead of having to pay, 30, 40, $50. At a store, you get it free from your machine, and it's fresh.
So for the beauty products, yes, women pay $50 for water?
So they're, honestly, I don't really use toner from like a beauty store, but I know from people who do use makeup for those ladies out there who do use toners, you know, you spray it, from what I understand, you spray it on your face after you like put makeup on your face, so it kind of helps it settle, because it essentially is trying to match the pH of your skin. But that's what this water does. And instead of having to go to the store to buy toners, now you can just get it from your machine.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. No, I have an idea of how much crazy stuff, you know, women do and what they go through. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I thought you were like, yeah, they buy water for. I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
You know, I would assume it's probably.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Yeah.
Celebrities drink kids' bloods, right? And I'm kidding.
Right?
I have no idea. So
that's a different topic.
That's a different topic. So recap is we're all drinking shitty water. This water's amazing. You're not telling us to stop drinking coffee or stop drinking or stop, you know, changing our habits. You're just saying add this to your life and you will see health benefits in your skin, in your digestive system, on your body, etc.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's pretty fucking amazing, because it's usually, you know, get this or else you're going to die, you know, and you're not even saying that. You're just like, hey, do you, but add this and be fucking cool and hydrated.
Yeah. Live your best life. I mean, just imagine for a second, and this is something that I really try to think about too. Imagine, you know, later on in our lives, having an extra 5-10 years with your kids, having an extra 5-10 years with your partner, having an extra 5-10 years, and I'm just saying, like, for
with your other partner. What? Right.
For, you know, just for like perspective's sake, being able to extend the quality of your life just by switching your water is really what gives me the passion to share this, to talk about this, to, you know, to make mistakes, to be honest, to learn from them, to be just completely honest about this whole process of what it's really done for me. And I think what's really excited me, not just experiencing the benefits myself, but I would really like to share with you like 2 really big testimonials that of me just sharing the water with these people, like what their benefits were. So the first one I'd like to talk about, her name is Lexi. Shout out Lexi.
Lexi. Hold on, I got Lexi. Yes.
So I met Lexi. She works at Flame Broiler. We started talking, just having simple conversation. I was like, oh, she's like, I like your tattoos. I was like, I like your tattoos too. I was like, let me see. And she's like, honestly, this one has a rash. And I was like, oh no, let me see. And then she showed me her skin was super irritated. I was like, you know what? I have some water. If you're open to it, this is my business. I would definitely like to be able to help you if you're open to it. She's like, yeah, sure. Like, you seem really nice. I was like, okay, give me like 30 minutes. I'm going to go home. I'm going to come back and I'm going to bring you some water. So while we were talking about the 2.5, gave her the 2.5, gave her the 6.0 beauty water. And then I gave her the 9.5 alkalized water for her to drink.
It's making me thirsty.
I know. Drink some of that water. I'll take a sip with you. Cheers.
So you went there, and
I brought her back some water.
You brought her a few different water for different things.
Yes.
Cheers, cheers.
Cheers.
I swear it's just water. Tasting. Mm-hmm. So you brought her back. 30 minutes, go home, come back. 2.5 for your skin.
Yes.
6.5,
6.0
for beauty.
Yes.
And then?
So the 6.0 was, because the 2.5 is going to dry out the rash. The 6.0 is going to rehydrate the skin.
That's so wild. We're just talking about different grades of water and what it does.
And the 9.5 is so it changes the internal, and it's able to kind of help speed up the process of recovery with her rash. And with about 2 months of drinking the water, she's seeing drastic improvements. She actually came to one of our Tuesday night demos and told her story, talked about her testimonial, and said that she went to the doctors. They prescribed her this ointment that shaves off parts of her skin with this rash. And she was like, honestly, that scared the crap out of me. So I
and she just got the tattoo, and she's
Yep.
like, I don't want this shit fucking.
Yeah. And I was like,
The
that
struggle's real, yeah.
Yeah, like it's like when she told me that, because she didn't tell me that until she spoke in front of everybody and told her testimonial. And she's like, yeah, honestly, all I've been doing, everything else is the same, but I've just been using this water and I've seen a massive difference. And I was like, that's awesome. And she's like,
Amazing.
I feel cleaner drinking this water. I feel much better drinking this water. And I have videos of her saying this, so it's not just me just saying it, but she definitely, it was exciting hearing her.
I believe you, so you guys
it.
have to believe her, period.
Yes.
She passes with me.
There we go. So it was just exciting hearing her benefits from it, because everyone's stories are kind of different. My second testimonial that really stood out to me, so one of my really good friends, she watches her granddaughter full time. And she had told me that she's about 4 years old, that they could never get her to drink water, that they would have to give her Gatorade, that they would have to give her Propel, they would have to give her all that kind of stuff.
Not kidding.
Like, you know, a lot of the sweeter stuff just to get liquids in her. And she's like, the crazy thing is, girl, she's like, I literally just took some of this water, put it in a vial, kind of, you know, just put it in her mouth, and she doesn't even want to drink the Gatorade anymore. She doesn't even want to drink the Propel anymore. Like, she's going straight to the water. And her her granddaughter is 4 years old. And so at that point, they're not thinking like, oh, right, I like this, health. It's more, how does this make my body feel? And that's what her granddaughter gravitated towards. And I was like, that gives me goosebumps. It's super exciting.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. Getting kids, getting kids to drink healthy stuff versus, non-healthy stuff is difficult, let alone even like my brother and his family. They're ridiculous. They live in Florida. I go visit them. They're drinking Kool-Aid. I'm like, what? That's so good. But they're hooked.
Yeah.
They're so hooked. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense, Or I have a friend in the Valley. Same thing. You can't find a drink that has no sugar. Like, they have regular Coke and regular Dr. Pepper and regular. I'm like, guy, their sparkling water has sugar. I'm like, what are you doing, guys? This is so terrible. Like people don't pay attention to what they're consuming. Mm-hmm. So it's two things. On the first testimonial, how was she applying it? Was it like she was just pouring it directly on? Did she grab a spray bottle? Did she use a towel? Mm-hmm. And then what was the thing on that? And then another thing that I'm so curious when I'm thinking about water is hair, because a lot of people have problems with their hair, like the flat water in their shower head, and it's a problem. Like, do you see people using this for their hair?
Yes. So really great question. To go to your first question, talking about Lexi with how she applied it. So I gave her spray bottles so she could spray it on. When you spray on the 2.5, you can let it dry. You can kind of pat it dry because it's going to take off all of the bacteria, but it's going to dry it out. So you want to be able to rehydrate your skin, which the 6.0 matches the pH of our skin. And so that's going to rehydrate. And then, so you apply those topically, the 2.5 and the 6.0, and then you drink the 9.5 because it's changing the internal structure of how we're able to fight off disease, fight off, free radicals within our body. And so that's how she experienced the benefits, was applying topically as well as drinking the 9.5.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's very wild.
Mm-hmm. And then, to answer your second question, so we do also have a shower unit, which is called the Anespa. The Anespa is able to take out all of the nasty stuff that comes, through the shower head when we take a shower, because there are chemicals in that water as well. And especially if you take a hot shower, the molecules, what is it?
Yeah.
When it's hot in the water, the perspiration. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're trying. Yeah,
you're breathing it in. Perspiration. Yes, I take cold showers, so that's why I was like, I haven't taken a hot shower in a minute. But
you started cold and finished cold.
Mm-hmm. So aside from the water, what
crazy ass.
I know. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Wim Hof method.
Yeah, before. Of course. I was going to mention Wim Hof.
Yes.
That was another thing I was going to get into. Breathing techniques and the the Iceman. Yeah.
We discovered him actually through COVID, through Goop, which was a show on Netflix. It was like Gwyneth Paltrow's show. We started watching it, and they talk about, with people with depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, all these kinds of mental issues that have never really been addressed. These people who had these thoughts, had these tendencies, were going into cold water. And with Wim Hof, for those who don't know, long story short, his wife commits suicide, left him in charge of taking care of, 4 of their babies. She was on medications, and she essentially killed herself. And so for him, he was so depressed. He's like, I know I need to be in charge of taking care of my babies. And so what am I going to do with myself? And he's like, the cold called out to me. And so we started doing it, and we've taken cold showers now. Me and my fiance have been taking cold showers for over 3 years now. So
that's
and
amazing.
then we do the breathing.
Yeah,
as well.
And Wim Hof had like where the cold was calling him, and he went outside and like sat there and lost track of time. I guess it was something like that, and it was like he was sitting out in snow and ice for 7-8 hours, and then he was like, "What the hell?" Like,
yeah.
What's going on? And then he found that it's this breathing technique, and this breathing technique is, he trains it, and he does classes, and he has a mobile app on it.
Yeah.
And the purpose of it is he manipulates and controls his alkaline in his body.
Yes.
And this is, he's broken 25 or 30 world records of climbing Mount Everest in shorts and no shoes.
Yeah. Crazy.
No shorts, no shoes, Mount Everest multiple times.
Yep.
Teaching people how to do this. Another thing that they did is they injected him with a virus.
Yes.
And they let the virus kick in till he had like 105 or 106 or 104 something. Temperature, sweats, everything. And just by breathing technique and, again, manipulating your alkaline, he beat the virus without a vaccine. He's amazing. Wim, W-I-M, Hof, H-O-F, the Iceman. Like, that guy's amazing. And I was thinking, like, with this water and those techniques, like
powerful.
Fuck everything else, right?
Yeah, it's awesome. That's kind of like the method to our madness. I was diagnosed with anxiety and racing depressive thoughts. And so being exposed to the Wim Hof method, like actually doing it for myself. When you guys actually take a look at my Instagram, kind of later on, we used to live in a mobile home, but we got our tub, and we would do that every week. We would do an ice bath. We would play like our favorite music, and then we would just be present with the ice. And I feel like that came at a good point in my life because my dad was super sick at that time. And so that was kind of my escape from just feeling so sad, feeling so depressed. And so definitely would recommend that.
How quick does your mood change when you take like an ice bath or a cold shower?
It honestly, it switches like night and day.
Like instantly.
Like instantly, because your body's like, oh fuck, but you do the breaths. Taking a cold shower is still extremely uncomfortable for me. But I know what it's going to make me feel like after, and it makes me feel really great after. It makes me feel like, like I feel good. I feel like mental clarity, and then just adding the water on top of that is just almost like the cherry on top of just feeling the best I've ever currently felt in my entire life. So,
yeah, it's there's so many benefits of cold showers. We're talking about your skin. We're talking about your clarity, your mind, your mentality. Challenging yourself. The fact that if you wake up first thing in the morning, you take a cold shower, that's already a challenge that you passed. That your mind's like, got it, check. Now you're gonna like kick ass on a bunch of things. And then eternally, what people don't understand is when you when you jump in ice baths or cold waters or cold showers, etc., what's happening inside your body is that all your blood, it's really good for your blood. All that's happening to your blood is that all your blood is rushing to your organs and it's protecting your organs. So there's like a rush of like, of it contracting. No, not contracting, but whatever. Your blood's protecting yourself. And then once you get back into regular temperature, your blood releases and it goes back into your body. Yeah. And some people like going into hot and cold. And they do this multiple times because when you go hot, it opens up your pores, your blood flows loose and relaxing. Then you go into that cold water and it just, you know, so like that, yeah, that's amazing. But I've never done an ice bath.
Really?
Yeah.
We should do one.
Yeah, I never done the ice bath. I'm interested. I saw somebody just grab like a fucking garbage can, whatever, like the plastic ones, and just pour ice and water. I'm like, oh, looks interesting, but it looks like something you got to do with people, because if you're gonna set it up for yourself, that's kind of selfish.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that you can do by yourself, but having people
so much ice
who are gonna push you to go longer, because that's kind of what we did throughout COVID. That was kind of our thing. We got some of our friends to come over, some of our really close friends. We're like, hey, you know, we're kind of interested in trying it. We're like, just come over, get in, play their favorite song. And then once your body kind of starts like shaking like too much, that's basically your body's way of saying like, okay, now you're going to go into a sense of hypothermia. So you kind of need to get out, but it's kind of pushing that boundary every single week. And we were doing it so consistently that the most I ever got was 12 minutes. Now I probably couldn't. I'm like, now I probably couldn't.
Yeah, I think Wim Hof did like 9 hours.
Yeah, or he did something for his birthday where.
He's always doing something, but yeah, there's one on TV that was like 8 or 9 hours in ice, just breathing, like, you know. Yeah,
it's wild.
Look him up. That I had Roland Sands is a designer / racer / clothing brand / badass / his dad's cool. He's cool. His kid, like, he's just an amazing guy. And I had him on the podcast during COVID. You know, this is like when I'm just starting off, you know, and he was like, yeah, come on by. Let's do the podcast. And the two things that stuck out on that podcast was, one, within 5 minutes of me never even meeting this guy, we were doing your mama jokes. Like, your mama saw this, your mama saw that. Yeah, it was the greatest. Yeah. And we were talking about Wim Hof, you know, and I know a few people reached out to me like, oh, I didn't know about Wim Hof. I got his app, and yeah, this app works, and blah blah. And it's pricey. I think it was like $100 a month or something. His app at one point. I don't know what it is now, but people don't understand or, you know, comprehend how valuable it is. Like, you're beating like life. You're beating life in many sense. And he's so cool, and his accent's cool, and he's nice, and you know, and those breathing techniques are intense. You know, like when you start those breathing techniques, you want to like pass out. You feel lightheaded, and you're like, "What the fuck? I'm just breathing. I'm just." Like it
get all tingly in your hands. Yeah, my fiance would say he would, like, when he would breathe, he would kind of get like claw hands, like his hands would go like
hilarious.
This.
He would just, what's wrong with you? I was breathing.
I know, I'm like, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm good. You know, I just kind of had to like come back from it, but your body gets used to it, and so now, I mean, we do a couple rounds. He'll kind of do his breathing. I'll do my breathing, but you don't even have to get the app. We'll take like 30 deep breaths.
Yeah, there's stuff online that Wim Hof promotes, and you know, you can learn from other places, but there's a lot of value in that app too. Wim Hof is not trying to get rich at all, like at all. That's not his character, personality. You know, whatever it takes is like he wants to help people out. So for the app being that expensive, there's a lot of health benefits.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And he promotes a lot of stuff on YouTube where you can find some basic exercises that he teaches. But what's cool is he teaches people these records that he breaks. It's not that he's a superhuman. It's that he just cracked a code and he teaches people how to do it. You know, that's the wild thing. He's taken many people hiking Mount Everest barefooted in shorts. With no shirt. Like,
Crazy.
Wild. Heather, website, contact, how do people find you? We did your Instagram earlier. Let's do it again.
Perfect.
Yeah, like how do we get a hold of you? How do we find you?
Through Instagram, definitely. So again, it's HEETHA12 is my Instagram, Heather Barba. I also have Facebook, Heather Renee Barba. I have TikTok, Heather.Barba, which my last name is BARBA. And then you can also reach me personally. I do put my phone number on Instagram if you guys are ever interested and curious of knowing more about water, want to get your water tested, or just have any specific questions or just want to connect. I'm always open to, meeting new kinds of people, connecting. So that's definitely how you can reach me. So thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Appreciate having you on the show. Appreciate you made it out here. And thank you for this wonderful demonstration.
You're welcome.
Until next time.
Until next time.